Hello everyone, welcome to my combo video on the new Overframe Pendulum Magician coming out in the Limit Over collection, Horoscope Sorcerer, the Stargazer Magician. Sorry, I am just going to have to use a blank card for this. I do not have a printer at home. That being said, this card is phenomenal. It's great for Pendulum Magician, Supreme King, Odd Eyes, Performa Pal, pretty much tons of classical pendulum decks this card is phenomenal in. And I'll explain why. So first off, for its scale effect, it can, while in the scale, if your opponent uses a spell card or effect, you can negate that effect on resolution and then destroy this card. However, you do have to control a Pendulum Magician monster on your field in order for you to use this effect. So let's say your opponent uses like a Dark Ruler no more, you can, on resolution of that effect, as long as you control a Pendulum Magician, negate that effect, destroy this card, and then its monster effects is that while in the hand, you can discard a Performa Pal, Odd Eyes, or Pendulum Magician monster to summon it from the hand, and then on summon, it allows you to search for a 2500 statted Pendulum monster. So usually you'll be getting the Supreme King Gate Magician or the Astrograph Sorcerer. Both of them really good targets. And then it has one last effect that it can target a face-up Pendulum Monster card on the field, meaning you can hit scales, destroy it, and then add a Pendulum Monster from your extra deck back to your hand. If you notice, those effects are very, very similar to one Heavy Metal Foe's Electromite, just without the draw one that you usually get off Electromite. That's insane. It's basically a main deck Electromite, and it's phenomenal. My only complaint with this card is that I don't like that you have to discard a card to summon it, but that's really it. And there are cool combos you can do with that discard that I plan to show off. Speaking of which, I've got two combos to show. I've got one using a Pendulum Magician card that has kind of been bad for a hot minute due to how Pendulum Magician works. That is now good because it's a one-card starter. And then Solfachord. I have a Solfachord combo to show off. So let's get into it. So to start out, we're going to start with the 1.5 card combo using Pendulum Call. If you've never read this card, it's very interesting. It allows you to discard a card to add 2 Magician Pendulum monsters with different names from your deck to your hand. However, until the end of your opponent's next turn after this card resolves, Magician cards in your Pendulum zones cannot be destroyed by card effects. You can only activate one of this per turn in your opponent, and you cannot activate this card if you activate a Magician's Pendulum Monster effect. If you activate a Magician's Monster's Pendulum effect this turn. This card is kind of bad. And the reason why is because it stops you from destroying your Pendulum Magicians, which stops you from blowing up all the Pendulum Magicians that want to benefit off of being destroyed. However, now you can use this to search your Horoscope Sorcerer and another Pendulum Magician, discard the Pendulum Magician you searched, and then summon Horoscope Sorcerer, and I will tell you now, summoning Horoscope Sorcerer is a one-card combo. So, is full combo. So this card now is basically full combo by itself, which is good enough to play, even though it kind of screws with the rest of your Pendulum Magician stuff. Anyway, let's show it off now. I'll use Pendulum Call, discard a card in my hand to search the Horoscope Sorcerer and the Supreme King Gate Magician. Notably, you will be able to summon back whatever Pendulum monster you summon, or you discard with the Horoscope Sorcerer. So there are other targets you can get for this. Something like Noble Dragon Magician can be sent to like make a Synchro 8, like an Ignis or Prominence. There's some really cute stuff you can do. I'm just showing this off because I think this is the most practical. We're going to go Horoscope Sorcerer effect, discard the Gate Magician to summon itself. And then this is going to trigger, letting us search out the Astrograph Sorcerer from our deck. We're then going to scale Astrograph Sorcerer, use its effect to destroy itself, and then search or summon our Stargazer Magician. We're then going to use our Horoscope Sorcerer to target itself, destroy itself, and then add back the Astrograph Sorcerer. That will trigger the Astrograph Sorcerer because a card was destroyed to summon itself and then search out another copy of our Horoscope Sorcerer. We're then going to scale the Horoscope Sorcerer and then link 2 with our 2 monsters to make Beyond the Pendulum. Beyond the Pendulum is then going to search out a copy of Chronograph Sorcerer We're then going to scale Chronograph, and we're going to pen summon Stargazer and Astrograph. We're then going to use the Astrograph and the Beyond the Pendulum to make Exceed the Pendulum. Exceed's going to add the Astrograph back to our hand. We're then going to use Exceed the Pendulum's effect to special summon the Gate Magician back from our grave. This is where we'll summon back our monster that we sent. We'll then use Gate Magician's effect to search a copy of Wings of Light, which will then immediately be used to search a copy of Supreme King Dragon Darkworm. You could alternatively get one of the like Supreme King traps here. You can kind of do whatever you want with this, but this is just what I'm doing because it's the easiest to set up. But you could theoretically do like the Supreme King trap, which can do some cool stuff. You can summon the Gate Magician on your opponent's turn. So if you get the Celestial King, it'll let you summon Zark on your opponent's turn without any restrictions. So that's huge if you want to play like Zark Supreme King. Lots of really cool stuff you can do with summoning this card. Then we can go Chronograph effect, destroy itself to summon the Time Gazer from deck. That's then going to trigger our Astrograph in hand again to summon itself and search a copy of Chronograph from deck. We're then going to scale Chronograph, and then we're going to Xyz the Astrograph and the Gate Magician into the Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon. We're then going to link Time Gazer and Absolute into a copy of IP Masquerena. It's going to trigger Absolute Engrave to summon the Vortex Dragon from our extra deck. We're then going to normal summon Darkworm, and Darkworm's going to search a second copy of Gate Magician for follow-up. We're then going to link off the Stargazer and the Darkworm for Silly Hat Rabbit. And then that is on summon going to let us set the Angel Statue Azaroon. I really don't like having to play the like Azaroon brick. If you guys have a better link to for me to make with these two monsters in the comments, please let me know. I think this is the only part of the combo I don't like, is that you kind of have to rely on this card, which requires a brick, which kind of sucks. And then that's the turn. So notably, on our opponent's turn, we'll be able to use the Exceed to summon the Gate Magician back. And then that will let us search with the Gate Magician on summon to get like another Wings of Light, which can get another Gate Magician, which is full Supreme King combo in the next turn. And it puts a Magician on our field for our Horoscope Sorcerer scale effect. And notably, if your opponent uses a spell card, you go chain to Exceed the Pendulum, summon your Magician. On resolution of their spell card, because you now control a Magician, you can use the Horoscope Sorcerer to negate that effect, which is pretty cool. So basically, this is a negate from the Horoscope Sorcerer, a pop from the Silly Hat Rabbit, a special summon negate from the Azaroon, an SP banish on summon, and a second banish with the SP, so 2 interruptions off the IP, and then a negate with the Vortex. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 interruptions off of our singular Pendulum Call. That's really good for a deck that really isn't a one-card combo deck. Really, really strong stuff. Along with that, it gives you a lot of follow-up. You have full combo in your hand on the next turn. You also have full scales set up. So if your opponent doesn't out your scales, you can also then just pen stuff back on the next turn. Lot of good stuff on this board. Then I'm going to go ahead and show off the Solfachord Combo. Alright, so now I'm going to show off what you can do with a starter like Solfachord Promoa. Notably, you can do a lot of the same stuff with a bunch of other really powerful pendulum engines. I just want to show off the basic one, not even the most basic, but probably the most powerful, which is the Solfachords. So we're going to start with one Promoa and a discard. We're going to go Promoa to search a copy of Solfachord Happiness. Happiness is going to be used to discard a card and search Solphagia and Cutia, and then special the Cutia. Cutia on summon is going to search a second Promoa out of the deck. We're then going to scale Solphagia and scale Promoa, and then link to for Beyond the Pendulum to use its effect to search our copy of the Horoscope Sorcerer. We're then going to pend 1, 2, 3. And we're going to then go chain 1 Horoscope Sorcerer to search our Astrograph, and then chain 2 Promoa to bounce itself back to hand. So we're then going to get our Astrograph Sorcerer. We're then going to scale our Astrograph Sorcerer, and then we're going to link our Cutia and our Beyond the Pendulum for Coolia. We're then going to trigger the Promoa to add the Happiness back to our hand so we can do a second Pendulum Summon later. We're then going to Astrograph Effect, pop itself to summon from the deck our copy of, not you, Stargazer Magician. We're then going to use the effect of Horoscope Sorcerer popping itself to add the Astrograph back to the hand. We're then going to trigger the Astrograph to summon itself and search out a copy of our Horoscope Sorcerer. We're then going to link our Promoa and our Astrograph off for IP. We're then going to activate Solfachord Happiness to gain a second pen summon. We're then going to scale the Promoa, and then we're going to pend out Promoa and Cutia. We're then going to link 2 for, not there, link 2 for Silly Hat. Silly Hat's going to set a copy of Azarun from deck. And then we're, and when we pen summon, we bounce the Promoa back to hand again. We're then going to scale our copy of Horoscope Sorcerer, and then pass turn here. So this is basically the same board as last time. The Coolia negate is replacing the Vortex negate, and instead of using Ixie to summon the Magician on our opponent's turn, we're just having the Magician already on field, which is a lot better into something like a Dark Ruler No More or a Forbidden Droplet, which is nice. So this combo is arguably better. It's better in some ways, worse in some others. Vortex is a weaker negate than Coolia, but the Horoscope Sorcerer negate is a lot more live than it is in the other version. But this is a really good combo. So, I believe it's the same amount of interruptions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same one-card combo. Or same way, a one-card combo. Really, really good. That's all the combos I have to show off for today. I really, really, really like this card. That being said, these combos are not set in stone. This card got revealed not that long ago, so I haven't, solved the deck yet or anything. I want to hear what you guys have come up with in terms of combos. I want to see if anybody has done anything that is better than this. I really hope so. I hope this combo and this deck gets just better and better and better. There's so much potential, so many different things you can run with these cards. I really want to see this deck be good. I love Pendulum Magician. I love Supreme King. These are some of my favorite cards in the game. I really want them to be good. Please let me know if you have any suggestions or improvements in the comments. Anyway, I will see you all next time. Goodbye.